You're listening to the Midwest's Most Dangerous Podcast, Lockpod, Left of Center Podcast, Season 16, Episode 8, coming to you live from the NECA IBEW Powering Indiana Lake County Studios.
Good morning.
What's up?
I'm just checking out your...
What's
Howdy.
up, Jay Vaz?
Hey, morning.
I'm looking at that T-shirt, that logo.
What is that?
Rick Baltensberger from Misprint got it from me.
Misprint. Hold on a minute.
Yep, he got it for me in Italy.
Really?
It looks like a stoner shirt.
It does.
And then on the back it says, legalize Marinara.
Oh, let's see. Flip that around.
That's good.
That is awesome.
Nice. That's nice.
Legalize Marinara.
I may have wore it to New Buffalo the other day.
Did you get a lot of compliments?
Yes.
Really?
It's one of those shirts that people like stop you and
They're
say,
like,
oh my God, where'd you
that
get
shirt's
that shirt?
great.
Yeah.
That's
I may have
cool.
wore it to New Buffalo.
Thanks, Rick.
Just walking around New Buffalo with my legalized Marinara shirt on.
Wait, when
Going
were you
to
in
go
New
into an
Buffalo?
Italian place?
Could have been
Sunday?
allegedly. I plead the fifth. Fuck that.
Okay.
I mean, what is this?
I was,
maybe-
just, I was
wait.
just there on Sunday. I haven't been there in forever.
Really?
I thought
Yeah,
you were
it
going to New
Depends on what part of New Buffalo you were there. I
It
was there
was-
on Sunday also, by the way.
I thought you were going to an Italian place and wearing that. You're not going to an Italian place?
I mean, New Buffalo is known for their dispensaries. I don't know if you knew that.
Okay, I
And
took.
if I was wearing a legalized Marinara shirt,
no,
I think
this
we
is.
all were catching your drift.
I thought so too.
I thought it was funny that you were going to an Italian place, but you didn't like the joke.
No, this was crazy. I took Route 12 up.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Once we got into Michigan,
It's
Yeah.
insane.
I could not believe it. It is
Both
the,
sides.
The
Route
landscape
12.
has totally
Yes.
changed.
I know. And that's not exactly a major
No,
thoroughfare.
no.
There's like
No.
friggin' 8 dispensaries on Route 12.
I thought I
Yes.
read an article
And
that
then-
there's been increased traffic accidents there.
Oh, I'm sure. So
Yes.
but that's the one that didn't make sense to me. I get it off 8094. There's literally like a proliferation of weed stores on mile marker 1.
Yeah.
If you
You
haven't
could take
seen
any
it.
of the highways.
Well,
you don't
yes,
have to just take
but
12.
12 and 20. I
Well-
mean, to see them build up there, that's
You know
not
why,
exactly
though?
a huge.
Anybody in Michigan City and like in that
But-
area could just drive there instead of hopping on.
I mean, how big is Michigan City? Bro?
You're right. 40,000 people.
There's like freaking 6 dispensaries there now.
yeah, true.
and
yeah,
like-
but if you don't take 8094, you don't have to deal with the state troopers, and I hear they're a little aggressive about
Oh.
things. So.
Yeah, 12 is like
Allegedly.
that back road kind of.
Is it?
You do
It's
it.
like the
Yeah,
the
but
back alley.
You know, honestly, on the trip
dispensaries.
home, you go the speed limit. I mean,
You'll
you
be
know,
all right.
I'm in my Shelby. I'm
Make
going.
sure
to-
your car is
I'm going,
registered
like-
properly. The
Yeah.
whole shebang.
Yeah,
And make
Don't
sure
give
it's
them-
not
don't
like
give them the
something
easy-
noticeable.
Don't give them the easy stuff. Yeah, you just got to be like cautious on the way home.
Got to be cautious.
I
You
got
gotta
like
be
90,
ready to.
95 on the way
Gotta
there,
be
55
sober.
on the way home. Average 75 miles an
I
hour. It's
can't
perfect.
Drive.
Okay.
And I see also we have something else new in the studio.
Oh yeah, like
Show that off.
subtle. This is was given to me by Kristen Self, who her and I are working together on Jason Gore's campaign. Kristen is she's a campaigner across the state. She's
a long time.
political operative. I've known her for
It's
my
a good,
entire
that's
career.
a good word for her.
She is. And she's working Jason Gore's campaign with us. And Tiffany Stoner is running for state rep down in the Indianapolis area. I think it's like Zionsville in that area. Tiffany Stoner. She's got a great campaign logo. I think I'm going to support her.
That reminds me. I got an invitation to like Jason Gore for Sheriff on Facebook. I'm going to do that right now on the air.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jason Gore for Sheriff. Boom.
Thank
All
you.
right, there you
All
go.
right.
Appreciate it, John.
Yep.
By the way, I was showing off last night. We had a campaign meeting, and they were like fretting a little bit about they want to get more followers on Facebook. And I'm
Oh.
like, oh, let me try this out. And then
Oh, wow.
Watch this explode overnight. Yeah.
It did. It did all right.
I bet.
Yeah,
A little
because
flex
I have a
by
lot.
our mayor.
Yeah, man. Because like this is
How
You
many
know, it's
followers
funny.
do you have on Facebook?
25,000.
25,000 on your personal page.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you just started inviting everybody.
I only did 1,000 last night because I didn't know how to do more than that.
Okay.
Yeah,
You got to do it tediously and just.
I
go
know.
one by
Something.
one.
I know. You have to go through one by one, basically. Or
Oh,
like,
you still have to do that? Invite.
Dude, it's brutal. Remember we used
You
to
did
do that?
1,000?
Oh yeah.
I did 1,000
Yeah.
easy.
I remember doing it like one at a time.
You were probably
boom,
one
boom,
of the
boom, boom,
1,000
boom,
last
boom,
night
boom.
because it looked like it was all my closest friends. Like I
Wow.
know, like Lynn's was on there and stuff. Like I saw everybody pop up,
Okay.
and it seemed like the friends that I had the most of were the first 1,000 that got it, including. I accidentally sent one to Flores for sheriff campaign. I don't know if they accepted that invite. It was just random. It wasn't me being a dick.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're listening, I was just doing it to 1,000 random people, and it happened to include that campaign.
Yeah.
So there you go.
They
Wow.
probably
a
thought I
good
was
way
being
to
a
get the
dick.
Facebook followers up.
Well, that's the thing. You build up the Facebook followers, and then you got a platform that you could put stuff out on, and then they spread it for you, and it just helps get the word out. So
Yeah.
I'm locked in. Jason Gore. It's a fun group. It's pretty weird. We did a campaign meeting last night, and there's a lot of cops in there. I'm like one of the few non-cops. I'm looking around the room like, hey, what's up, guys?
Well, that's a good sign, right?
I know.
He's got a lot of cop supporters.
It's a very safe room.
Yeah.
But like, no, you know what? One thing I noticed about Jason is rank and file police officers, they love him because ATF. I'm starting to learn a lot more about ATF. It's more of like an elite government unit, and they come in with the really hard cases, and the cops and ATF work together on those cases. And so Jason knows a lot of officers across Northwest Indiana, and
Just from working on different cases.
yeah, and they know him more importantly. So like in Hammond, we assign officers to ATF, and so they would go work for Jason basically, and then they come back to Hammond and they tell all their fellow officers like, "Oh my God, this guy is awesome. He's the leader of the ATF." Blah blah blah. And so we got a lot of work to do, but I like campaigning, Kevin. It's great.
I know
to
you
be
do.
back. I love campaigning. It's
I
fun.
do too.
It's like chess, and I love chess. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm not very good at picking political races sometimes. I made a prediction on Lockpod, and it blew up last night, and Kevin wants to make sure everybody knows about it. Kevin?
We were talking about this. So
Look at the smile on his face.
He is like, he was so happy. Oh, did you put Eric Adams in there?
Because I think we almost made a bet on this.
Almost is the key word.
Yes.
he lost.
And I
his,
just lost $50.
his
I'm a little bit.
baseball
Yeah, I'm a
bet,
little
so-
bit. I'm $50 lower in my pocket.
That was
right
a bit,
now.
and you paid up. I
That was
appreciate
never
it.
a bit. We need to
It
make
was
sure.
like-
You guys shook on it. How was
Yes,
that a
I
bid?
agree.
Really? I
Lens.
don't remember shaking. I
We
thought it was
definitely
just one
said
of
it
those
was our
Lockpod
serious
things.
bet.
Okay, I'm
So
glad.
I
I
paid-
seriously spent that
I
$50
would-
bucks already.
So that means that if it went in your favor, Kevin, you wouldn't have seen shit.
It was
I
spent
would
in New
have.
Buffalo over the weekend.
it was apparent. It was.
He's like, wait a minute, I got an extra 50.
I was
here."
buying marinara.
That's right.
Spent $50 on marinara.
So
It
yeah,
was a fine Italian place.
now you're picking up on that joke.
Yes, I get you.
All right. So a while ago, specifically season 15, episode 20, if we're really looking, we had a discussion about the New York mayoral primary, and as mayor knows, mayor's wife Marissa, Judge Marissa, is from the New York area, and I've got a son Aiden that lives there, and so we were kind of talking New York
And
New York
don't
City
forget
politics,
Grandma Lynn
and
listens
Grandma
to-
Lynn,
she
of
listens to
course,
every
and
show.
Trish,
Hey,
and-
Grandma and Trish.
yes.
But Grandma Lynn follows New York
Thank
politics.
you, Lynn.
Yeah.
And so anyway, there's this crazy primary where Zoran Mandami wins. I'm probably screwing his name up. The Democratic primary, and we've got people like Cuomo lose the Democratic primary. We're now running as an independent, and Eric Adams, the current mayor, who was under indictment, then wasn't under indictment, and now we find out he's stepping down.
What do you think happened?
I don't know. I think, according to his statement,
What do you think happened?
you mean as far as like why he's
Why
not
is
running?
he stepping down? Is he stepping down because he doesn't think
I don't
he
think
can
he
win?
can run. I don't think he can win. Rather,
I think part of his plea agreement has to do with him stepping down.
see, in my mind, I was thinking, Tom, that that President Trump would message to him through the federal prosecutors would be like, hey, we want you to win, because he could then do Trump's bidding in New York, like,
Unless
bring the ICE
President Trump
agents
wants-
in, bring the
So there's 4 candidates with Eric Adams in there. There's 4 candidates in the race. You got Mondami. You got the what was it?
Guardian Angel,
The Guardian
Republican.
Angel,
Yeah.
Republican.
Mhm.
Then you got basically 2 moderates. You got Eric Adams is running as an independent, and you got former Governor Cuomo running
Yep.
as an independent, right?
Yep.
So like you have 2 independents with big names. They're going to split the vote. You got a Republican that's not going to do well, and then Mondami easily wins.
I wonder if Eric Adams will help Cuomo.
I mean, it's got to, right?
You would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
I mean,
think.
honestly, like out of the 3 candidates, you got Cuomo, you got the Guardian Angel, and you got the socialist,
right.
the communist.
I don't know if he's. I don't think he's
Okay,
a communist.
socialist / communist. It's pretty close. Once you declare yourself socialist, it's like you
Democratic
should have your own
socialist,
party.
I
Why
think
doesn't
is
he
what he
fucking
says.
get his own party? We have one of
could.
those guys in Indianapolis. He's like, I'm a socialist Democrat. Why don't you just bust off and become a socialist?
That's a
because
good question.
you can't
Yeah.
fucking win as a
I don't
socialist. So
think
you latch on like a tick onto the Democratic Party, right?
bring
And then
us all
you're
down.
like cruising through the Democratic primary, and then you bust out, and you're like, I'm a socialist,
Yeah. And you're ruining the Democratic
Yeah.
Party name in
Yes.
the process.
Yes.
like a tick.
Ooh.
It
Is
is.
that what ticks do?
Yes, they suck onto you,
Oh,
and they
God.
they suck onto the main body, and then they swell.
Wow. Well, Eric Adams is stepping down. So
Yes,
unfortunately,
I was wrong.
That's okay.
I would pay you
It was a
$50
good-
if we bet,
Yeah.
but we did not.
We did not.
So it's a gentleman's bet.
Well, yes, it was.
You won, Kevin.
No, well,
Congratulations.
I'm looking. I think Cuomo. I'm actually kind of hoping Cuomo wins, but I don't know if he's going to be able
I
to
should
do
just
it.
pay you freaking $50.
No,
and
no.
just call it even.
No, I want you to. It was
Wait.
not a bet.
Kevin, you mean you don't want Mondami
would-
to win?
He is actually too far left even for me, John.
Oh, wow.
You're left too.
I'm just worried
are
about
pretty
some
left.
of the things he wants.
He's
to
going to ruin the brand.
Yeah,
of Democrat. Much like AOC. All due respect to AOC, she's so far left. She ruins the brand in places like Indiana, because when I'm running in
They bring up
Indiana,
people like-
they bring up AOC, and they're like, "Are you like her?" I'm like, "No, I'm not like her. It's like a completely different party."
Oh, we
when
suffered
they're
that with
elites.
Pelosi, and when like the New York and San Francisco elites, or not elites, or whatever, the Democrats on the coast are much different than the Democrats in the Midwest, and but you get lumped in.
Yep.
You know, so we'll see what happens out in
Yep.
New York
So,
City.
I'm out. My prediction: step down. I think it was under pressure, but nonetheless.
We'll
Trump.
see.
What do you make of this?
What's
Trump. Trump.
Oh, he
post-
commented on this.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said, Mamdani is going to have problems with Washington like no mayor in the history of our once great city. Remember, he needs money from me as president in order to fulfill all of his fake communist promises. He won't be getting any of it. So what's the point of voting for him?
No.
Can you say that kind of stuff? Just
Yeah.
outright, you're not getting
I
federal
mean,
dollars?
Trump apparently can say whatever he wants. So
It's
he's
politics,
the president.
bro.
With no repercussions.
It's politics. He's trying to discourage New Yorkers from voting for a communist.
Directly. He's not even
Yeah.
hiding it.
He's like, I'm going to screw your city over if you vote for this guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely helping Cuomo. I don't think the Republican's going to get much traction.
But this is just another example. Like, I remember when Biden was in and Republican states would say, oh, we're not getting federal dollars because Democratic president, and now it's Republican president threatening federal, and that's okay.
I mean, federal dollars should be available. I mean, there's some discretionary stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
talking about. So,
Let's go to the next topic, which is ICE in Chicago. I mean, there's ICE agents all over the Mag Mile, walking up and down the river. It's I've never seen. I traveled to China about a decade ago, and I remember when I went to China, one of the things that was most striking about being in Beijing was they would literally walk soldiers down the streets with automatic weapons, and it was intimidating.
sure.
And of course, I'm in China, in another country, and you see freaking army soldiers walking in formation towards you, and you're like, oh my God, this is so like jarring. As an American, I'm like, I've never seen anything like this before. Well, I get to go to Chicago and see it now because we're a freaking country that does that.
I think the thing that bothers me about this is I feel like the Mag Mile stuff, and like I saw like the head Border Patrol agent like posing outside of like the Newberry Library near the park on like near Oak Street. It's like, okay, that just seems like a dog and pony show to me. Whereas like look, if you're going to do like very focused enforcement on bad guys and you got to go to somebody's house or you need to enforce a detainer, I'm all for that, right? Like, hey, we have a detainer warrant for this guy. This is where he lives in this, nice part of town or crappy part of town or whatever. But just like walking the streets, just to like,
intimidation.
yeah, it's just like, here we are. I want to make sure that the president can show this on national TV or say that, look, we're on the streets of Chicago, which is a hellhole according to the president and so dangerous. And look, here we are patrolling and making Chicago safe.
Right. And
It's like they're not doing. What are you doing?
nothing. They're doing nothing.
It's a show. It's a show.
Yeah.
It's like
Just release the Epstein files. You're trying to distract us all. Like, just release it. For fuck's
I love
sake.
it.
It's the
I
truth.
love it.
This
Yeah.
is all like all this shit. Like, he wants to change the NFL kickoff rule. Fucking president. It's like, just release the Epstein files,
I
you
saw
fool.
that.
You're trying to confuse us all with all this bullshit, and it's working to a certain extent. But like, just release the Epstein files. That's really what the ultimate distraction is.
And I think he's wrong on the kickoff rule, by the way.
Didn't you have a question about ICE earlier, Linz?
Yeah, I had a couple of former students who were reaching out because they were real nervous about, I guess word got around that there was going to be like an ICE blockade or something, that they were operating in Hammond. And
I think they were in the region, and part in Hammond, but I don't think it was fishing. They're not like walking down the streets of Hammond like they're doing in Chicago.
Okay.
I think, much like a lot of Chicago residents, they moved to Northwest Indiana because it's a better quality of life, in my opinion. And I think that even applies to people that are here illegally.
They're
They
undocumented.
matriculate from Chicago to the region, and if they're in Chicago, ICE, and they're looking for a specific person, and they move to the region, they're going to come here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're undocumented, and I'm sure we have some in the region without a doubt, and let's say they stay with their girlfriend, or they stay with their boyfriend,
I mean,
or they have a family
we're 20
down
minutes
here.
away from Chicago.
Yeah, and so I think I think you're right, Mayor, that what's happening is there's a detainer order, and the person happens to be located in
Right.
Indiana, but it's through the Chicago office. So I have not heard of any like focused ICE presence in the region
agree.
outside of those.
It's not like-
outside of those specific examples. where
In
they're looking for
Chicago, they're
somebody.
like walking down the street in Hammond.
Posturing.
They're like, it's creepy though, because you'll get a call in the city hall. The police department gets a call about like a person sitting in front of a house in a car for like 2 hours. And they're like, there's some dude sitting in front of my house. So we had officers respond to one of these situations the other day. Turns out it was an ICE agent in Hammond.
Wow.
looking for a
Camping out,
specific
looking
person.
for a specific person.
Yeah.
They were waiting for that person to get back, and they were marked in an unmarked car, and like with Illinois plates. You would never guess it's an ICE car. It doesn't look like an ICE car. It's not marked like that, and it's got a bunch of agents in there with their faces covered, like the Taliban.
Yeah, and so I think that's exactly what we're experiencing and I don't think there's any reason not to support focused, specific, detainer requests for specific people if they're wanted and on a warrant.
I tell you what, I'll never hire an ICE agent or a former ICE agent in the city of Hammond or if I'm wherever job I'm in. If they have ICE listed on their form, I'm going to find a reason not to hire that person. Because I consider them the modern day equivalent of what was going on in Germany leading up to World War II. This is Trump's little secret army.
And I have a question, because everyone keeps telling me that these ICE agents who are doing their focus, they're looking for specific people because they're wanted criminals, they have warrants, so on and so forth. Is there a verification process? Because
I know, Lynn.
that's what people are telling me, but there's no, like, I
They
don't have
grab people.
access to NCIC. I don't know what their history is. They could just be rounding up random people. And
People with brown skin?
How are we?
Just
Yeah.
little old abuelas.
How are we
Yeah,
verifying this?
I think there's
And like, what, they accidentally also arrest, their entire family when they grab this guy? Like,
No, I haven't seen that happening. I've seen like examples of this is the paperwork. This is what it's supposed to look like. There are specific warrant, like detainer requests or detainer warrants. The police know what they look like.
yeah.
And so I think I've not heard of anything, Lindsay, that's like been
What
fake
about,
or
I saw a situation a week or two ago where they were trying to get this guy and they ran in the house, but the kid fell behind and they just like held onto the kid for the family to come out so they could arrest the guy. Like,
Whoa.
I
didn't
think
see
like
that.
the couple things that I've seen that really are a little bit aggravating in my mind are like when they're picking people up after court in court.
yeah.
Like
who
you are
literally,
those,
like,
like we want
They're
people
doing
to
their
go to
due
their court. Yeah,
diligence.
we want people to go to their court
Mhm.
hearings, and now they're afraid to even do that.
And
It's
we mentioned this.
intimidation.
Legal Aid Clinic gave a report last week at staff meeting that said that a lot of their cases with Hispanic litigants are falling off. I mean, immigration cases and even non-immigration cases, they're trying to clear up legal issues that they have, and they're afraid to show up to court for that
Right.
very reason.
I know, it's scary. And I think going back to what you said about like the street and like how it reminds you of Germany, like that, I'm concerned that I saw this ad by Christy Noem, right? Hey, come on and be a ICE agent. And like, how much training are these people getting?
Oh,
And they're just on the street
like
with
Trumpers,
guns and
like MAGA Trumpers.
it's bizarre. It's like I have no idea. To me, I think of a federal agent. I think, like you said, like ATF.
Yeah.
I think these
Highly
people are
trained.
highly trained.
Yeah, elite.
Very
Elite.
Yeah, they're
Right.
smart people. They've got great training.
Well-
They know the Constitution. They've trained on it, and they know what they're doing. I get worried that these ICE agents are just some dudes that they
Some random
That said
they-
yes.
yes,
Yeah, I need a job.
and that goes to what you said. It's like
Yeah!
becoming like a street army.
Well, did you see
well,
the video? Sorry, Lindsay, go
so
ahead.
the commercials that they've been putting on TV that I've been seeing on every channel,
Right.
like every commercial break,
Federal
they're
tax
calling
dollars.
specifically for police officers.
They were doing that in Chicago, saying like, if your mayor isn't, helping you enough, come on over here and be ICE.
Yeah.
I mean, at least in that instance, it's a police officer that's been trained.
I
But
hope there's like some type of national movement where we all just say, hey, listen, if you're part of this,
enough's enough.
yeah, man.
Right.
Like, what would you do if you're an ICE agent right now? And they're like, hey, McDermott, you got to report to Portland so you could go intimidate people with brown skin. I'd be like, fuck that. This is stupid. Why are we doing
It's
it?
like
I
getting
mean,
drafted.
that's why I was a crappy little sailor.
You didn't like authority.
No, I don't like doing stupid shit like this. It's like if they would have been like, hey, Petty Officer McDermott, I want you to put on your fatigues, walk around Chicago and intimidate Mexican people. I'd be like, why the fuck are we doing that? That makes no sense.
Or go to
Yeah.
Washington and pick up garbage
Right.
in the park.
Yeah.
I like when I was a teacher, a big issue that we faced was like the lack of pay or the lack of financial support for doing a job that I think is incredibly important to the future of our
Totally
country.
agree.
And they always told us you couldn't get any raises, can't do this, we can't do this. And it sucked, and I left the field for that. And they're giving these random people guns, 60% or $60,000 sign-on bonus
bonuses.
for
Think about
giving
that.
your student loans, and you're making six figures as a salary. and the government's backing this. So they could have done this for teachers.
And they're
this
firing people
entire
like you said,
time.
right?
That's true.
Like they're firing people that you went to law school with. Like stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
They could have done this. They could have invested in
So
their future.
right,
They could
Lindsay.
have put money into
really good
education,
point.
and they haven't. They've been sitting on this money, and they're putting it towards something that they find valuable, which I think really says a lot about this administration, is that they could have done this the entire time to very crucial jobs, and they aren't.
And this money, by the way, that's funding ICE is part of the big, beautiful bill. It was a huge funding for ICE.
Oh, I don't think many people understand that the ICE budget is now bigger than most like defense budgets for countries. Like it is. So this is you're only going to see more of this.
This is a militia.
Dude, like that's the thing is like, so what I saw 10 years ago in Beijing and I was so shocked is like armed soldiers walking down the street. Now that's an American reality because of the president's decision.
And then
that's something I tell you what, when I'm voting in the next presidential race, when I'm voting in the next governor's race, when I'm voting for congressmen and senators, if you support this, like you support armed soldiers walking down the streets of Chicago, you're a piece of shit in my opinion, and you shouldn't be supported. And we should do everything we can to get these people out of office. This is a joke.
Bill Maher talked about that too, Tom, about this normalization of military presence and just
So
city
scary.
streets. I don't like it either.
No.
And me and my dad were actually just talking about this, like even as like, if you're a Republican, like, is this the answer? Just putting military on street? It just doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right at all as an American. Yeah.
You want to play this video?
Yeah, Tom, why don't you
This is-
introduce
This is so funny. So like Chicagoans don't like the fact that ICE is downtown either. And there's a lot of people that are trying to ignore him, and there's other people that are walking up to him and saying, hey, fuck you, get the fuck out of here. Chicago doesn't support you. And this is a video that went viral yesterday of a young man on an electric bike that is berating the ICE officers, and they start to chase him. And it's
And if you tell him what he's, I don't know if you can hear in the beginning what he says to him, but it's
so
great.
basically he's telling a big group of, let's call it 25 ICE agents. He's like, hey, I'm undocumented. What are you going to do?
That is wild.
And then they start chasing him, and he gets away, man. Of like 25 ICE officers. It's pretty classic.
So if you can't see this,
Hey, I'm not a U.S. citizen. No! No, Joe! Yes! No, yes!
Dropped his phone.
Dropped his phone. There he goes. Dude, they're like coming at him. Multiple agents. He's gone!
right down Whacker, man.
It's like the freaking Keystone Cops.
They're just like
That
running
is, that's
into
right
the
down
road
Whacker.
too.
They're carrying like 80 pounds of gear. They're trying to chase down a guy with an electric bike. They just look like
And
total.
also, isn't it kind of strange that all of them are wearing different amounts of gear? Like this guy, he's done up to the nines.
And
He's
he's-
got the tactical
guy right
vest
here,
full
yeah.
of stuff.
He's
and
not
then the guy
catching
next to
anybody.
him
Yeah, he's
is like
even without his gear, he's not going to catch him. The guys, it just looks so funny. Everybody's just laughing at the ICE officers, just laughing.
Little Hispanic guy just in a little bike.
Yeah, little tiny tires, and he just smokes a whole like.
And by the way, you would think they would be able to cut him off because he had to do this big U-turn
Yes,
on the
He
bridge.
dropped his, what you didn't see is he dropped his cell phone right by him. He had to go back and pick up his cell phone, and then he pushes away.
Look
and
at the bike. It's ridiculous.
And he's like running with the bike, and the ICE agents still can't get him.
oh,
And
man.
by the way,
these
what
are
were they
just,
going
like,
to do?
Random hillbillies. I swear to
I
God.
don't know.
They're like they look like random hillbillies.
All I know is my grass is getting pretty long. I don't know
Really?
where my landscaper's been, so we got to
Dude,
figure this out.
You know what? My landscaper hasn't been like showing up. Well, I mean, it's been tougher lately, and I wonder if that's related, John. That's interesting.
Could be.
I got to.
You mean like so if you're, yeah, like you don't want to show up because you hear ICE is around, and you're just like, hey,
I'm sure there's like huge text chains or
Yes.
however they
Yes.
however you communicate signal or something,
Yes.
right? And like where you're like, hey, I heard. And by the
Yes.
way, it was
Do you
true.
wanna go
There
out
were
and-
ICE agents in Hammond.
do you
want to
go? Yeah, and so like if you're Hispanic and you're like doing yard work to make ends meet,
Stay in your house.
yeah, you're like, I'm not going out today. They may come by and sweep us up, and
Right.
I had a friend yesterday text me that their landscaping company they use that we use as well that didn't show up Friday and said their truck broke down. I'm like, okay, maybe
Wow.
But
That
also
sucks,
maybe
man.
just being,
It
being
sucks, dude.
careful. Yeah,
And you know what? Honestly, the guy that helps us out is just a great guy, hard worker.
Same.
Comes out every week. It'll be 105 degrees out, and he's busting his ass out there all across the neighborhood, working for, just to make ends meet.
And by the way, like the person I'm referring to, I think is documented, but I have no idea about the people who work for him.
I don't ask.
I
I'll
don't
be
know.
honest
Why
with
would you? I mean,
Hey,
doing it, they're working.
before I give you my $60, are you documented? Like.
I mean, they're working. Let them work.
I agree with you, bro.
you know?
I agree with you,
If they're
bro.
not, if they're
Like,
not
isn't
wanted
that the
on
American
some
dream?
violent,
Dude,
crime.
immigrants, my ancestors, your
Mine
ancestors,
too.
they came over here and they busted their ass to try to, lay roots in a great country called America.
But
It's not
it's
that
funny.
great
It's like
anymore.
I
agree with you,
and I
Liz.
remind my kids about this a lot. Like I was looking back. You look back, and a lot of the same things that people that are coming to America now and are immigrants, documented or undocumented, face the same kind of discrimination that our ancestors faced. It was just a different thing. Like, all these Catholics are coming from Ireland, or all these, Eastern Europeans are coming over and they're dirty or they're dumb or they're, whatever. It's just a century later.
Right.
So
Agree. Hey, speaking of complete, utter failures as government, the federal government also is about to shut down today.
just to add, well, Congress is so efficient,
They suck so bad. I don't like really many people at all in Congress. I mean, honest to God, I just think they're just a bunch of fools.
I just think nothing gets
Both
done.
sides.
I mean, or at
They
least they're
suck,
very
dude.
bad at promoting what they do get done.
Dude, America so badly needs a third party, just like of rational people that don't care about the extremes and just want to freaking work and just keep government running and keep on funding important programs like, paying our teachers and keeping our cities running.
Well, it's like everybody's in their corner.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to come out of their corner because nobody wants to give the other side credit for doing anything, right? Instead, everybody just says it's their fault, it's their fault. And if you had a third party that actually was a real third party, they'd be like, F these guys, let's get shit done.
Right.
And it's like, why? It just seems like it seems very rational to make things happen instead of every 6 months we get to have this play, go out on the stage called Congress at the Capitol about who's going to shut down government and why. Dude,
I'll be honest with you. If I had one when I ran against Frank Mervan, I'd be so fucking miserable in that place right now. I would be so miserable. And by the way, I'd be on the verge of getting my job eliminated because they're going to redistrict in the middle of the decade to get rid of, your district.
What a blessing.
But it was a blessing, John. And I mean, believe me, we all know that, I'm an ambitious person, but sometimes you run for things and you think it's in your best interest. And then upon further reflection, you're like, wow, I'm in a good spot here in Hammond. My residents and I work really well together. I got a great relationship with the council, and I'm looking at Frank right now, and he's fighting for his life. He's got to take extreme
Every 2
positions.
years.
He's got to take extreme positions. He's facing elimination because the Republicans
it's crazy.
cheat.
The redistricting. And if you were to not toe the party line, they just primary you.
And who am I? Am I I'm not a
Exactly.
robot. I'm not a very
That's
good
what I'm saying.
robot.
Yeah.
I couldn't have made some of the votes Frank made. I looked at his voting record. I'm like, damn, dude, I would have had problems with some of those votes. And probably would be shit canned by Hakeem Jeffries. He'd be like, Tom's not a good party guy,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what you face there. And like you said, it's a tough place to work. I'm sure it's a tough place. I mean, who says, oh, I love Congress. They're efficient. They do good things.
Isn't that funny?
It's always at an all-time. You just always hear it. Yeah, congressional approval is at an all-time low. It's always at an all-time low.
It's 13%.
I think I've seen it lower. It's in the single digits sometimes.
Yes.
It's crazy.
They suck.
Well,
it's a shitty government. It's a shitty layer of government. The whole legislative body in the federal is a joke. Man.
It is when we, over the last 10 years or so, where we've just been so partisan, nothing gets done or very little gets done. Or if it does get done, we don't hear much about it. We only hear about the stuff that doesn't get done. So anyway.
So government's going to shut down. Apparently it's going to shut down tomorrow.
Yeah, this morning's update was people saying, I think we're headed to a shutdown. Washington is actually just hours away from a partial government shutdown. And the meeting yesterday between President Trump and congressional leaders failed to end a stalemate over federal funding. The one thing that Trump has said that's kind of concerning is basically everybody that was put on paid government leave from the Doge, which we don't hear about anything about Doge anymore.
What's that?
I know, right? Oh, Doge was going to be the savior. All those people are just going to get fired, according to President Trump. They're going to lose their jobs. So
I heard about
thousands and thousands of federal workers will now be off the payroll to allow to pay for more ICE agents.
I can't wait until the next presidential election.
I don't know what's going to happen.
It's going to be so funny to watch all these
I think it's
freaking.
going to be stressful.
I think all these lackeys that have just blindly supported this freaking dictator are going to get their asses kicked. I cannot wait to watch them just widespread lose their jobs.
I don't know. I
about the
I thought
midterms?
Trump wasn't going to
Midterms.
win last time. You know, it's like
no,
I don't even
Kevin,
know what's going on
Kevin,
in America.
This is a level that I've never seen.
It's
This is
scary.
a level I've never seen. I've never seen this level. I've never seen a dictator as a U.S. president, and we got one, and then just a half the country is just like blindly loyal to.
I think what we're gonna. I'm very like John just brought up the midterms. I think will kind of tell where we're at as a country to see like is there this outrage or is
Yes.
it kind of like we still support you, Mr. President?
Well,
You know,
Yeah, man.
we're gonna see.
So during a shutdown, what kind of things as investors, we all, a lot of people out there have their nest egg out there and they're worried about their 401k and they're worried about what's going to happen during a shutdown. And during a shutdown, there's a few things that happen. Increased volatility definitely happens. The threat of a shutdown tends to raise investor anxiety, especially if it's prolonged. Some data releases may be delayed, like employment, GDP.
Yeah, they said
inflation.
the jobs numbers are not going to be able to come out.
Dude, they all work for the federal government.
They're all going-
And this is all like clarity. This
I wonder,
gives
does
us
Trump
clarity
want
as an-
this? Like where there's not stuff happening.
Delayed regulatory administrative functions. So agencies like the SEC, FDA, or other federal regulatory bodies might slow approvals, filings, oversight functions. Credit interest rate implications. If a shutdown drags on, it could raise concerns about fiscal management or default risks. Oh, my goodness.
That wouldn't be bad. I even heard something about the federal courts might have to slow down.
Yeah.
See, maybe it's like, hey, nothing's going on except me and ICE and the
macro.
Department of War.
Like government contractors won't get paid. And that,
Right.
there's some large scale government
point.
contractors that have thousands and thousands of employees. And if the big contractors aren't getting paid, their employees don't get paid, which is a macro drag. Confidence may weaken because of stuff like that. If consumer or business sentiment suffers, it can depress demand, which ripples to revenue growth for many companies. And historical evidence suggests limited long-term impact. That's good. Past shutdowns, especially short ones, have often caused only modest temporary softness in stocks. Markets often look through the noise and focus on fundamentals.
I read that IRS will be shut down. But I read like that obviously like things like air traffic controllers, active military. I'm sure ICE will still be funded.
Yeah,
National
right.
Parks.
National parks will be closed.
Yeah,
yes.
right.
Of course,
Yes.
anything that's nice. But fucking ICE will still be walking down Michigan Avenue. Assholes. Okay, we better move on because we're falling behind and we have a guest today.
Oh yeah, we
do.
do. I forgot about that.
But like in the
yeah.
second segment, I want you guys, the audience out there, I'm going to give you a chance to tag your favorite child care providers. Okay, I've received over the last couple weeks numerous letters about concerns about the CCDF rate that child care centers receive. It's a child care voucher for parents that are working parents that bring their kids to daycare. And these funds have been cut. And a lot of people are confused about where these funds came from and who made the decision to cut these funds. And it's going to have huge ramifications on child care centers across Indiana.
Yeah, so we've got a nice segment on that coming up. Are we going to do ads real quick and come
Yeah,
back?
we'll do some ads. And then when we come back, we're going to start off with the mailbag. And then we're going to talk about this child care voucher cut and who cut it and where to place your anger and what's going to happen because of this. And it's not
scary.
very encouraging.
Yep.
So let's start off with Power in Indiana Lake County, our premier and studio sponsor. Power in Indiana Lake County is your source for the region's most trusted electricians. At Power in Indiana Lake County, we set the standard for excellence in electrical work. As IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors, we ensure safety, reliability, and quality for Northwest Indiana corporations, businesses, and homes alike. But our mission goes beyond the job site. We're creating a brighter future for the region we proudly serve. Power in Indiana Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community. Find the right electrical contractor at powerindiana.org.
Cantrell and Cantrell Attorneys at Law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give Cantrell and Cantrell a call and schedule your consultation with someone who is in court and at the jail every day. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife Kristen make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
Prestmer Insurance Agency. For decades, the Ron J. Prestmer Insurance Agency has been located right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. The Prestmer Agency specializes in a wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and much more. Pressner Agency serves thousands of people and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They are here to protect what matters most to you.
Calumet Brewing. It's not about the miles you ran, the perfect score, or even the final victory. It's about the joy in the journey. The high fives after a friendly game. The feeling of accomplishment. The shared laughter. That's the moment worth toasting. With only 95 calories and 2.6 carbs, Michelob Ultra is the refreshing, crisp reward that makes the moment better. Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Head over to the Cal Brew or the Michelob Ultra websites and social media pages for more info on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Michelob Ultra lifestyle with beers, and cheers responsibly.
Tortilla Nueva Leon is the gold standard of Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for Tortilla Nueva Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia, de todo corazón.
Thanks, Eli. Thanks to our sponsors.
Clean Our Studio sponsor, Power in Indiana, Lake County.
We'll start off with some mailbag.
Mailbag.
John's going to take our
love that.
recommendation and actually tape
Make
it
it,
one
yes,
day.
one of these days.
He's going to sit here one day
So you can
all
just
day
hit a
go,
button.
we're going to tape you
It's
in.
like, nah, I don't like that one. Let me do it again.
All right.
Not enough popping.
Mayor McDermott, I'm writing to express my concerns about the CCDF rate cut that begins on October 5th, 2025. Providers and parents were notified on September 22nd that weekly voucher rates would be decreased, some up to over 60%. This decrease is drastic. The families who receive these vouchers are low income. They do not have the funds to make up for the overage decreases. Please, Mayor McDermott, address this issue. The children of your city will be the ones to lose in this situation. Parents will be forced to give up their vouchers and jobs. We are facing a crisis. From Megan.
Yeah. So I know you've gotten several of those.
I have.
And then
And like I get lots of letters, but this issue, let's call it a dozen.
Sure.
All within the last week, which is very unusual.
Yeah, not something that's directly in your wheelhouse at
No.
all. I mean, you don't.
It has
deal
nothing to do with City
local.
Hammond.
It has nothing to do with any locality.
So
but obviously it impacts your residents.
So the CCDF voucher is a federal voucher that's matched through the state, Kevin. Is that true?
Yeah, there's federal funding which has remained flat. Okay, so understand that. At first, when we were looking at this, I thought, oh, this has to do with
So this isn't
Medicaid
the big
cuts.
This
right?
isn't the big
It is
beautiful bill. It's not
It is
President
not.
Trump.
It's not. It's federal funding that goes to the states. They give so much money for childcare help, right, where you can kind of like subsidize the cost of childcare for working families or working mothers or whatever. And so the issue is, what about the gap between what the federal funds supply for and then what the actual cost is? And the state had been filling that gap.
They've been using it with COVID relief money.
Originally COVID money, and then stuff called TANF, TANF. It's like a it goes along with like food stamps and things like that.
So
but
let's be
it's
clear.
additional money for people, to help them.
So Governor Holcomb
Yeah,
and the General Assembly over the past few years had been funding it.
correct. The gap between the flat federal funding and what was needed to fill that gap between that and full child care expense.
Was the new Governor Braun is the new governor.
Yes,
Governor Braun doesn't see
he
the
doesn't.
he doesn't see the world similarly to Governor Holcomb.
He
in this
doesn't.
regard.
He put a pause actually late last year on these things called CCDF, which is what you said, child care development funds, right? These vouchers, and what has happened is there's actually become a wait list. So no new child has been enrolled since Braun's become governor, and as of late last year, early this year, now it's about 25,000 kids on the wait list.
And this
Wow.
is $20 million we're talking about.
$20
Statewide.
million statewide.
$20 million statewide is such a small rounding error. It's like 0.00000 of the numbers they're normally dealing with.
Yeah.
It's so small.
It makes
It's
you know that
puny.
it's like a policy decision.
It's like so easy to cover $20 million. So who is the losers in this? The losers is single moms. If you're a single mother, you got a kid, you got two kids, and you're trying to work and you're trying to raise your kids, obviously if you're working during the day, you need childcare help. So you get these vouchers because you can qualify because you're low income.
Yep.
And isn't it good if you're a low income single parent that you're actually trying to get
Working.
a job and be part of the workforce?
Yeah.
So you definitely are going to need help with your childcare in order to accomplish this. And now we're taking that away. And
Yeah.
this is going to help our state.
That's what I don't get. It's almost like a flip of where, I mean, Republicans are a lot of times you'll see and by the way, a lot of Democrats too. I don't want to make it seem it's just Republican, but it's a good idea to get folks that maybe on the edge financially working, because it gets them out of the circle of relying on the government for aid and things like that, or at least minimizes that. So you have single moms working that are, kind of just barely making it, right? Their income helps, and having free or substantially reduced childcare helps them, because otherwise it's like, why am I working just to pay my childcare?
This is the numbers in the state right now. From an Early Learning Indiana survey, 443 providers were asked about how this is going to impact them. 19% of them said they've already closed at least one classroom. 11% of Indiana child care providers say they may close entirely within the next year. If that 11 plays out statewide, the report estimates that Indiana could lose nearly 10,000 child care seats in the next 12 months. More than 25,300 children are now on the wait list for CCDF assistance. So not only are the 25,300 children who are hoping for this assistance going to be out of luck, the 10,000 children that are currently going there are going to be out of luck as well. And all these parents are going to have to figure out what to do with their child
and
care.
by the way,
quit their job.
You're also harming small business in Indiana, because there are a lot of people, and I know, Tom, specifically people that are in this business that provide a service, that give childcare, that allow childcare either in their home or in an environment that they have a small business in, and all of a sudden now their funding is being cut.
Yeah, it's brutal. I just don't understand what's going on with our state, with our country. It's like, I think that if you're a single parent and you're poor and you're working and you're trying to like do the right thing just to get the rug pulled out from under your feet, it's just, I don't understand what signal we're trying to send.
Yeah,
we don't want you to work.
Right. I
we want you to sit at home with your kids.
Well, it sounds like you can't afford childcare, so what are you going to do?
Yeah. Oh, now you want welfare, huh? Right.
Now you need to be on food stamps.
Right. Oh,
now
yeah.
you need government assistance.
Right. You loser. You got to be on food stamps now. Right. But yeah, I had a job and I was providing for myself, and then you took away my child care voucher. So now I need food stamps. Oh, sorry, the state doesn't really hand out food stamps.
And the people that are in charge of the daycare facilities are faced with significant revenue cut because of this, and they have a decision to make. Oh, do I lay off staff? Do I try to stay open? Do I cut the number of kids I can service?
Yeah, is this right? 19% of Indiana child cares have already closed.
Yes.
Yep.
Closed classrooms. Part of their,
Right. That's what I just read off.
Portions of your...
Right.
They always say that it takes a village, to like raise children. And I don't know when we decided that that's no longer the case anymore.
Yeah, that was Hillary Clinton.
It doesn't matter who it was. Like,
I know that.
Like,
Lindsay.
let's support children.
Do you think Donald
invest
Trump
in
believes
education? Like,
I know, but Donald Trump doesn't believe in that, and he's the guy that's calling the shots right now.
He wants you dumb and stupid and poor. That's what they want. So,
where's that?
And somebody actually in chat just said,
I love the poorly educated.
that's what they want. So.
Our next guest liked that quote a lot.
Somebody
I see him in the waiting room.
Somebody in chat just said it's not just for working parents, also for single parents that are going to school. That's another good point.
I know, man.
I'm going to class. I'm trying to get my college degree. I'm going to trade school.
When I was a full-time college student, I also had a job, and we weren't on vouchers, but we did not have a lot of money. When I was going to Purdue Cal, I could tell you did you and Chase? No, you and Chase didn't go there when I was in school, did you, Linz? It was Thomas that went to a child care center at Purdue, right?
Yes.
Right. And like without the child care center at Purdue,
it was like a lifeline.
It was total lifeline for me as a full-time student. And then I remember when Purdue made the decision way over a decade ago to shut that down, I actually shamed them into keeping it open for a couple more years, because I was like, this was huge for me as a student. I can't believe you guys are thinking of this. And they actually backed off because they were like, what kind of signal does this send? Because Purdue has a conscience, but Indiana does not, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is definitely a policy decision. If you are affected by this, get a hold of your state legislator. Let them know what your story is.
Get a hold of the governor.
And get a hold of the governor's office to let them know how
this is where it came from,
you.
right, Kev?
Yeah,
the governor could fix this easily. $20 million, he could do this in the morning and have it done by 8:05.
Like I said, they could have been supporting teachers this entire time like they do ICE. So they got the money. They just don't want to do it.
It's a priority.
It's a policy decision. So.
All right, let's go ahead and do some ads. And when we come back, we have a retired Marine gunnery sergeant who now runs a political commentary / civic engagement project. So his name is Carl Abel. He's in the waiting room right now, and we want to get to him because we don't like to keep our guests waiting, but we got to knock off a few ads first.
He's being very patient.
I know he
very
is. So
appreciative.
let's start off with Misprint Printing.
Jeez.
There
That
they
was a
are.
weak one.
There they
Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With a 30-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team, led by Rick Baltenberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing, always on time and within budget. Conveniently located in Munster and Hammond, Misprint is your partner for creating impactful visual solutions that leave a lasting impression. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today.
MCR Partners is your one-stop destination for top-notch expertise in economic development, finance, and planning. With a dedicated team geared up to tackle your projects head-on, they're your go-to comprehensive solution providers. Dive into a world of economic development with MCR Partners and let them guide you through a maze of opportunities. Stay in the loop and connected by hitting up their website at mcrpartnersllc.com. And for tailored assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to Matt Reardon at 219-741-9511.
Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and outdoor patio, serving its award-winning craft beer, a chef-driven food menu, and craft cocktails on draft. Their brewing equipment and production facility offer a unique backdrop for events like bridal showers, reunions, or corporate parties. With a new food truck, they can cater to your corporate and private events off-site. Just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Discover more at bywaybrewing.beer.
Are you facing legal challenges and don't know where to turn? Who are you going to call? Kuklakis Law, your trusted source for legal advice in Indiana and Illinois. Do you need representation buying or selling real estate? Call Kuklakis Law. Do you need help forming your business? Call Kuklakis Law. Did you get injured in a car crash or at your job? Call Kuklakis Law. No matter what your legal issue, call 219-671-6347 for a free consultation. Who are you going to call? Kuklakis Law. That's who. Hablamos Español.
The branding room floor. Don't let your business get lost in the shuffle of generic branding and aimless marketing. Trust Northwest Indiana's award-winning full-service marketing agency, The Branding Room Floor. Providing data-driven results to help your business grow in a crowded market is their specialty. From website development and digital advertising to graphic design and branding, The Branding Room Floor will set your business or organization on a clear path to strategic success. Don't wait another day to get started. Visit thebrandingroomfloor.com today.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, thank you, including our studio sponsor, Power Indiana Lake County.
All right. I'm going to introduce to you the founder of Crayon Box Politics, LLC. He's a retired U.S. Marine gunnery sergeant. He's dedicated to making politics transparent and accessible. Through his weekly podcast, Crayon Box Politics Weekly, he empowers citizens with clear, nonpartisan information to strengthen democracy. Let's introduce our guest today, Carl Abel. Welcome to the show, Carl.
Hey, thank you.
Former Marine.
Hey, yep, absolutely.
Yeah? I'm a squid,
you were
so.
our Uber, right? So you got us
Oh,
around.
Here we go. Here we
We
go.
knew that was
I was
gonna
on
come right
subs,
out.
though. We didn't have too many Marines on submarines. How long were you in,
That's
man?
true. That's true. I was in for 20 years. Retired.
No kidding.
Yeah, retired the 31st of December of last year. So
Congrats. Thanks for your
Yeah.
service.
Is
Thank
that a
you,
Marine Corps
appreciate it.
flag in the background there?
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
I know
You
this
can't,
damn Marine
you
Corps
can't be in a
flag.
Marine house without the Marine flag.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So it's about the origin of your name, Crayon Box. Can you tell me where that comes from? Because I know there's kind of a joke about Marines and crayons, and I want to know that they're related.
Back in 2016, when I first started out as a recruiter, that joke about Marines being crayon eaters got really big.
I knew it.
And so, yeah, I naturally
Oh,
embraced
no.
it. And
That's
when
awesome.
it came around time, I decided to make it Crayon Box Politics just because
I
of
swear,
that.
that's a
that
good
link.
snag, Linz. That's a great link. I think I know a lot of Marine jokes. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, that's fun. I saw that, and I was immediately like, "Is this guy for real?" So thank you for
Hey,
clarifying.
Carl, when's the Marine Corps birthday?
October. Jesus. My birthday's coming up. Sorry, November 10th, 1775.
You know, when people ask me, I'm like, I have no fucking idea when the Navy birthday is.
But every Marine knows.
Every Marine knows. It's like
Absolutely.
So, Carl, what did
Welcome
you do
to the show, bud.
Yeah, what did you do for 20 years for our country?
So I was an intel analyst over in the Marine Corps. So I did a lot of evaluating. I looked at Bahrain. I was all over the place. But what really inspired me to start the whole Crayon Box Politics thing is, first and foremost, I originally wanted to be a candidate for political office. But as I started to develop Crayon Box Politics to get my voice out there and to kind of talk about the issues, I started to realize that there was a gap. And that gap was the knowledge base that the American population has. And I'm trying to answer your question. Sorry, I'm rambling a little bit.
No, you're good.
But what I learned as an intel analyst is that there are things that authoritarian regimes do. There are things that governments do in order to tamp down on the voices of the people. And one of the first things they do is eliminate education, because, like you were saying earlier, they want the people to be dumb so that they can be easily led around by the nose. But the next thing they do is tamp down on protest. And having spent 20 years watching places like Bahrain, who would tamp down on protests using tear gas and rubber bullets and have riot police out for protests, and now seeing it here in the United States, it kind of starts to pull together, if that makes sense. So
yeah, man. Carl, I don't know if you were listening to the first segment. I was talking about when I went to Beijing, one of the toughest things to get accustomed to was seeing armed soldiers walking down the streets of Beijing, and I was blown away as an American, and they're doing it in Chicago today. They're walking down Michigan Avenue, armed ICE agents. It's like, it's dystopian. I don't understand.
Yeah, and
it doesn't make sense. I don't know why we're headed that way and why people are cheering it for that matter.
I agree with you. It's scary.
I was just going to mention, I checked out your website. John's got a link here, crayonboxpolitics.com/reports. And a lot of your reports are actually on kind of, it seems like almost like a nice, although some of them are pretty intense, just information about protest and the history of protest in America and the foundational reasons of protest and things like that. So if you are interested, John will put that link into our chat for sure.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We started out doing like the typical following the Senate and watching the Senate and the House of Representatives and what they were doing, and we would talk about it every week. We being myself and my co-host, but and we even kind of started getting pulled down the trail of trying to be sensationalist and talk bad about people. Like I talked about Hegseth being a DUI hire.
DUI.
I haven't heard that. That's
great.
Yeah,
I love it.
But at the end of the day, what we realize is that
Kevin wrote it down.
education.
DUI hire.
I love it.
Wow.
I love it, Carl.
But what we realized is that there was a lack of education, a lack of knowledge about how the government functions, why we have the things that we have, and we hit on protesting as our first, like, our comeback after the summer session. And we focused on protesting just because we wanted to make sure that everyone understands that protest rights are enshrined in the First Amendment. And it's important for us to understand that every time that a law gets passed, it says, oh, well, if you're with a group of people and that group of people breaks windows, then you're a rioter automatically. Those things tamp down on protests. They tamp down on our ability to step out and say, hey, government, you're doing it wrong. Fix yourselves. So we started there, but the idea is that our weekly podcast is going to be less sensationalized and more of a, hey, this is what we have. This is where we're going, and this is why you need to know it.
Do you have guests on the show and stuff like that?
Have not had any guests on the show, just because we're still kind of new at this and figuring things out, getting our feet under ourselves.
Good for you,
but we
man.
do plan to bring guests on.
Look, real quick, one of the things that interests me about you, which is a lot, by the way, you're an interesting guy, but I'm trying to figure your politics out, okay? And I know where you come from as a former Marine. Probably 75% former Marines are Republican. Is that a fair statement, you think?
That's fair, yeah.
I agree. I felt tremendous pressure, even in the Navy, to vote Republican throughout my entire 6-year enlistment. So, like, to see you, you don't strike me as a Republican at all. I mean, and I don't want you to answer that, but like, you strike me as unique. I mean, you don't. I would think that a blog from a former Marine would be more right wing, and it seems like you're totally not that.
Yeah, I like to. This just came to mind. I'm more of a John McCain Republican than I
love
am.
John McCain.
Right. So, I mean, it's one of those things where I don't ascribe to everything MAGA. I think that MAGA has corrupted the GOP. But I also think that this two-party system that we have is crazy corrupt. And you were talking earlier in one of your earlier segments about needing a third party. I say we get rid of the party system altogether. And the reason for that is because when people go to vote, right, they go to vote and they'll look for Republican if they're a registered Republican, or they'll look for Democrat if they're a registered Democrat. They won't inform themselves about who they're voting for because they're just going to vote party line, which creates problems because if you don't have that informed voter base and they're voting party line, you're going to wind up with a situation where we have Mango Mussolini sitting in office. Sorry, I'm trying not to be biased, but you have Donald Trump sitting in office who is destroying everything that is our country. So I mean, we've got to get rid of this mentality of, oh, I'm a Republican, so I have to vote Republican, and get more into the mentality of, I believe in social welfare programs as a safety net to get people back on their feet. So I'm going to vote for the candidate that's going to help drive social safety nets.
You didn't do 20 years in the Marines as a gunnery sergeant to see this shit happen to the Constitution. Is that a fair statement?
No, that is an absolute fair statement.
I know, I had a question. And by the way, as a military guy, I had a question because this came up in the news recently, and we haven't really talked about it on Lockpod yet. But Hegseth brought every general from every corner of the world to Washington.
Right.
Like I heard, and I was reading a New York Times article about like some of them are like having to fly commercial there because it's more expensive to take a military jet all over the world. Like, what do you make of this whole like? Is this another just like dog and pony show, or is there actually? Do you believe significant concern about like him calling everybody there?
So that's a tough question because I've got like this faith in the military. It may be due to the fact that I just got out. But my faith in the military is that they are going to do the right thing constitutionally, no matter what. Right. And like, good old Hegseth, the Secretary of War now can bring all his generals to Quantico, which is a terrible place to bring. Like Quantico is a small base, but he's bringing all these generals there at the end of the fiscal year, on the last day of the fiscal year, right before a government shutdown, which means, and I don't know if you remember, Mayor, but when fiscal years roll around, they generally shut down travel charge cards for about a month, which means all those generals are probably going to get stuck
with their from the Far East, with their travel from the Far East on a 24-hour notice to DC.
So I mean, long story short, I see this as one of those things. Is it a dog and pony show? Yes. Can we draw conclusions from history? The Night of the Long Knives? Absolutely. But do I think that all these generals are going to swear an oath of allegiance to Donald Trump? I don't think so. I think that we have people in those positions. They are holding on to their apolitical stance just because that is a military mantra, right? We're apolitical. We don't align with anyone. And so they're going to do these things as long as it helps keep the thing moving. And I think that when push comes to shove, they'll push back.
Yeah, I hope that's true. I bet, because I know that's the military tradition in America. And I just hope, I think in Donald Trump's mind, he thinks like, oh, the generals are all with me. Yeah. He thinks like they're going to support me no matter what I ask of them. And I guess as commander in chief, it has to do with military operation. Then that's true. But I don't think, I hope that you're right, Carl, that politically that's not the case.
I'll be honest with you, man. You seem like the kind of guy that should run for office to me. You really do. I mean, we need more people like Carl in office, honestly. And I've been mayor for 22 years. I'm very opinionated, and my residents love it. I mean, I'm still around after all this time. I think you'd be great in office, Carl, being honest with you, man.
Yeah, I'd say that one of the biggest reasons for me of backing off of that is the imposter syndrome that I got. Like, I got out and automatically it was, I'm not a part of the community. I don't really have anyone that knows me, and I don't really have the funds to run for office.
Where do you live?
At this time, I live in Maysville. I'm starting to get out there with the community, but
what
Maysville is
that?
one of those. North Carolina.
North Carolina, okay.
Yeah,
kind of a 50-50 state.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got out of the Marine Corps. I had bought a house here in Maysville while I was stationed in Camp Lejeune. Got out of the Marine Corps and decided, you know what? I'm gonna put down roots here because I got the beach, which is right next to me, and
Nice.
the mountains, which are 2 hours away.
That's awesome.
I'm set. I don't need to go anywhere. I'm a California native, but I love it here in North Carolina. So I did that, but that imposter syndrome, it came out, right? And it's no one tells you when you get out of the Marine Corps that you're going to have to fight this idea that you've lost everything.
What do you mean? Like the imposter, meaning like you're not from here. If you run for office, you're going to get that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I dealt
you
with
know,
that part. And
I faced that when I ran for office, for sure. I moved to Hammond. My father was mayor there, and my, they gave me legitimacy, but I definitely fought that. I grew up in California myself. I grew up in Napa, and ran for office and won my first time. I think a lot of people respect the fact that I was a veteran. They definitely respected that, and I also went to Notre Dame. That helped me a lot, but I think you could overcome it, Carl. Especially nowadays, it seems to me like, is it a very Republican area you're in, or?
Oh, it is super MAGA here.
Oh wow! Okay,
very much MAGA. I mean, you drive around and like there's Trump signs everywhere, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm safe here.
Someone's got to be the
Although,
counter
I will
voice, though.
say,
I think
I walked into a gas station, and it's the only gas station in town. I was walking in a couple months ago, and there's this guy wearing a red MAGA hat, and he was walking out of the gas station, and I couldn't help myself. I just yelled out that I was glad that I didn't vote for a felon. And
Oh, man.
let me tell
Whoa.
you, this guy could not get in his Jeep, and he couldn't get out of his Jeep. He struggled. And he was losing his mind, pulled back, almost drove into the gas station.
Oh my God, you messed him up.
Deranged.
But you know what though, Carl? Going back, I'm trying to convince you to run for office, apparently. But like one of the things that's great. I mean, another thing that's great about you is like this stereotype that that all veterans are Republican, and you know what I'm talking about, right? Going back to like the fact that you have this strong, attractive, good-looking Marine out there, smart guy out there running as a Democrat. I tell you, man, it sort of helps everybody.
Yeah, and I think
I'm not hitting on you either, by the way, bro. I just think you're a smart guy. You're a young guy, former Marine. I tell you, I think it works.
Adopted 2 kids.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
That's
I think
awesome, man.
I think
You seem
that
like a great guy, dude. You really do.
And-
For a Marine, I mean.
the thing I would say in North Carolina, like in those areas, though, I think it's important to have a counter. It's important for somebody to stand up, even if
Agreed.
your chances of winning may be slim. I think that it's still important to get involved
Carl,
and be part of that.
I ran for U.S. Senate in Indiana as a Democrat. I lost. I don't
You
know if
can
you
do
knew.
it,
You're not
Carl.
calling me senator right now.
But you got 1 million people to vote for you or thereabouts, and
Yeah.
and you got your word out, and I think you got your message out, which I think is important. So
Well, and I think it's important. I mean, the founding fathers warned us against a 2-party system, and that's exactly what we're sitting with, and it sucks. So,
Well, to
Do
be
it.
fair, the founding fathers also gave us the 2-party system.
that's
Yeah.
true. But
Yeah.
with
George
different-
Washington didn't want it, right?
no, he
You know,
didn't.
George Washington didn't want it, but Jeffy Jefferson, man,
He's the
he
one
was
who
all
started it.
about that. So,
Yep.
got to have your power base.
Hey, man. So again, could you remind us again where we can find your podcast?
yeah, so the podcast is on all the major platforms, or you can go to the website and listen to it there. And the website is crayonboxpolitics.com. If you throw that /podcast on it, you'll go right to the podcast page.
Nice.
All right, or look on Apple Pod or Spotify or places like that for Crayon Box
Yeah.
Politics. All right,
Thanks for coming
awesome.
on Left of Center.
Yeah, Carl, appreciate it.
Left of Center. It's lock.
Absolutely.
We call ourselves Lockpod. That's how it started off. Left of Center is, and I think you're onto something big, man. And I appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you very much, and keep us in mind for guests down the road. And please keep us in mind for coming back on and checking back in.
Absolutely. Maybe when I run, I'll hit you up and get some
Dude, I
advice.
tell you what, I'll donate to you if you run, man. Hit me up for real. Like you seem
All
like
right.
the kind of guy we need in the party, man.
Yep.
So appreciate you,
Yes,
Carl.
sir.
Thanks for everything,
All
man.
right. Thank you
Thanks.
very much.
Congratulations on your
Thanks,
career
buddy.
too, man.
Yeah, awesome.
All right.
Thanks for your
Thank you.
service.
Good. Thanks, Carl.
Bye.
I like.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Steve Kellogg, for getting Carl Abel on. That
You
was
don't
really
see
good.
you don't see like retired Marines as Democrats very often, man. And he's a great candidate.
Well, I think it's like one of these things where you, in your mind, you're like every guy like that is going to be, really conservative, and the reality is probably it's not like that at all. Or maybe, I mean, obviously, like you said, Tom, that it's 75%, but it's good to hear from that 25% or 30% of the people that are like
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
mean,
Like
yeah,
get out
it's
there
great.
and like run for office,
Yeah.
and then people will be like, "Wow, there's
Oh,
Democrats.
he's
There's
Marine.
Marine Democrats. I didn't know that even existed."
And you never know, like there might be people in that community that are maybe like, I don't want to really come out and run, but I'll support you.
I want to remind. I just had somebody that said they couldn't. Crayon, like color crayon.
Yes, Crayon.
Crayon Box Politics. Okay, crayon, like color crayons.
And John will put it in chat.
I don't know how to say that the right way. I always mess
Crayon.
it up.
I always say
used to
crayon, but that's
crayon.
like me in the Midwest.
Right,
You know?
crayon.
Crayon.
Yeah,
Crayon.
it's a weird word.
The
Crayon.
joke. So the joke is that all Marines are all brawn, no brains, and so they.
Linz, I didn't get that.
They
until you
write
said it.
with
That was great,
crayons. They
Linz.
eat crayons.
I did not get that, and I constantly bust on Marines. I did not get that until you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was deep.
That was
deep.
fun, Linz.
Good
I
job.
picked up on that. I was like, I wonder if he's being funny or if this has a serious.
As a
like,
daughter of a
connotation.
Navy veteran, Lindsay's been waiting to
Dude.
to bring out the crayon Marine joke.
Yeah.
I was going to bust out one of my favorite Marine jokes to him. Okay, so there's like a Navy guy and a Marine guy both going to the bathroom in the urinal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Marine guy's sitting there and he's all dressed up in his uniform. He's all crisp. Navy guy looks like shit. He comes in. They're both peeing, right? Navy guy gets done, starts walking out, walks right out. Marine guy gets done around the same time, walks out, starts washing his hand. He goes, "Hey, Navy guy." Navy guy goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You know, in the Marines, they teach us proper hygiene. After you go down to the bathroom, you're supposed to wash your hands thoroughly when you get done." And the Navy guy says, "Yeah, in the Navy, they teach us not to piss on our hands."
Similar concept. Yeah, similar.
I love your like back and forth with Marines. That's great.
I mean, you notice how he fell right into it.
yeah.
So,
He's like, yeah, you're your Uber driver.
Yeah, right.
You're
Right
our
off the
Uber
bat, it's
driver.
like, okay, let's go, buddy. All right.
I'm pretty sure Dad's had a lot of practice. His childhood best friend is a Marine,
Yes,
so
that's
they've
true.
been ragging on each other
Oh,
for
yeah.
Yeah.
50 years.
But the people that know me best know that I went to the Marine recruiter before I went to the Navy recruiter.
And they didn't want him.
He was a dick. The guy, I could not stand the freaking Marine recruiter. I'm like, if this guy is a Marine, I want nothing to do with it. He was a douche.
Off to the Navy.
Off to the Navy.
Navy was better for
guy.
it.
Navy guy's out there smoking a cigarette and half drunk, and I'm like, that's my guy right there. Fuck this Marine. So
Little did you know he'd convince you to go on subs.
yeah,
right?
dude. So all right, we got a good closeout. We like to close out sometimes. This is John. Did you like this video?
I loved it.
Yeah, Republican Jesus. This is if Jesus were a mega Republican. So we're going to close out with a little controversy. But appreciate everybody. Lindsay, it's always great to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Hi.
Jay Vez, another awesome show, bringing in guests from North Carolina flawlessly. Thank you very much.
Unbelievable.
Thank you, Kevin, very much. And by the way, we didn't mention the Cubs playoff game at all today.
Yes, go Cubbies.
Go freaking Cubs,
Hell
man.
yes.
Win the freaking series against the Padres.
And
Let's
move
keep
on.
this going.
Let's
all right?
go.
Let's keep this going, Cubbies.
Totally forgot about that. Go Cubs.
Go Cubs. And then let's close out with some Republican Jesus. But I just want to say thanks for listening to Lockpod. We appreciate the audience, the live chat. We appreciate everybody that's listened to us on stream and our sponsors. We couldn't do it without any of those people. So thank you for listening to Lockpod. Season 16, episode 7. Episode 8's in the books.
Ocho.
We'll be back on Friday. Take care, everybody. Lockpod's out.
Republican Jesus. Then Jesus said unto the sick, You better have insurance. Then Jesus said unto the stranger, Are you here legally? Then Jesus said unto the hungry, My taxes better not be paying for these loaves and fishes. Then Jesus said unto the poor, This is your own fault.